Hi, it's Desiree Grant again with Desiree Grant PA Real Estate with the Kai's Company. So we're continuing part two of our contract to buy. So here we are in part two, and this is where we decide, you and or the seller decide who is paying for what when it comes to closing costs. In this area here, we have prorations, and one example would be taxes. So if the seller lived in the house for a good portion of the year, but the taxes are due in November, well, the seller would have to um, somehow take a charge for that, but basically the buyer would receive a credit so that the taxes would be split for the even amount of time in which each person lived in the house. Special assessments by public body, that means if there are any assessments by the municipality or the county that are due for any, like let's say a new sidewalk being built. Now this tax withholding section that applies to foreign nationals, they may have to have taxes withheld at the time of sale for the IRS. A home warranty, here's where the seller and buyer would agree whether a home warranty would come with the property sale. And then inspection period. This is very important. The inspection period in this contract is 10 days. It could be less, it could be longer. That would be determined by this space right here. But basically, that would be the time period in which you, as the buyer, would be able to inspect the home to make sure that it's in acceptable condition for you. And you can do that with a professional. During that time, whether it's 10 days, 5 days, 7 days, that would be the time in which you'd be able to cancel the contract if you did not want to accept the current condition of the property. And then here are some disclosures: energy efficient, radon gas. We know that that's naturally occurring. Whether the home is in a flood zone, you need to be advised of that. If there's a homeowners association, there's a separate sheet that needs to be attached to this, but you also need to be advised of that. And then the property tax disclosure. Although you can check to see what the seller paid for their taxes, it doesn't necessarily mean that that will be what you would be responsible for in the preceding year. And then there's the mold and coastal construction control line. Now, maintenance, inspection, and repair. This section basically says how the seller should keep up the property, and if the buyer has made any changes to the property, that buyer is responsible to converting back the property to its original condition should they not purchase the property. And then this area continues with the inspections and repair, who is responsible for what, who pays for the inspection, and who pays for repairs. So I wanted to keep it pretty short for a 3-minute video. Again, this is part two for contracts to buy, and I'll see you in the next one.